Hello everyone. As we're all probably aware, the digital age today is forever growing, which means that the digital online content that children can access is becoming greater every single day. Now, as much as we want the children to be world ready when accessing this media, our main concern and priority should be the safety of these children and making sure that they are safely accessing the online digital media. Now, Kim thankfully recently has helped you set up parental controls for different things like your Wi-Fi and YouTube. Today I'm going to start helping you set up your parental controls on different gaming consoles, as these are very popular in today's world. Now, we're going to start off with the PlayStation today. I will be doing this on the PlayStation 5, however it is very similar to the PlayStation 4. Now, your primary user, which is this one here, will be the person who controls every family user account. So this is where you'll be able to access and set up your parental controls. However, you'll need to add your user of the child who will be accessing these games. So this is what I'm going to do today. We're going to walk through this bit. It'll take maybe 5-10 minutes, and then while we're setting up this, you also can set up the parental controls during this process, but I'll also show you how you can do it from the main account. Now, what you are going to want to do is, rather than play as a one-time guest, you're going to want to get started. If you want to read the license agreement, then you can, or you can just press agree and continue on. Now, what you want to do is create an account. What it will originally ask you is the country as well as the date of birth. I'm going to set mine at the age of 8 to kind of really give you an idea of what it asks you to do when you are setting up a child account. Now you can learn about the privacy agreements, and this is the really good aspect of this console is become aware that the account that you're creating is a child's account, so it's telling the child, if they're creating this, to pass the controller over to the parent or guardian, which will be yourselves. Now, it asks you here which account you want to be the family manager. If you already have one account, then it will be that one. If you want to have a different one to be the family manager, you can add an account, but I'm going to go through as myself. Now, we're going to skip through this bit purely because of privacy issues. I don't really want to give away any emails or passwords, but here you will enter your email and your password of the PlayStation. Okay, so you've logged in, and it says here that you are now the family manager for your child, and we can start creating the child's account. Once again, it wants you to confirm the birth date, so I've gone for the 28th of October. Obviously, put in the date of birth of the child of the account you're creating. This is where it'll ask for an email address for your child to use when they're accessing the PlayStation Online. Again, I'm going to skip through this because I'm going to use one of my separate emails, but you can either use a secondary email that you have, or you can create an email account for your child, as long as you are in control of that email as well, so you can also see what your child is accessing. Okay, so once you've put in your email address, and it'll ask you to put in a password as well, it has to have a capital letter, a number, as well as like a character, so that means like a question mark, exclamation marks, any of those will do. This is where you add your child's name. Now the key part of this is you can add your child's name. It will not show their full name when they are playing the PlayStation, as long as you make sure those are the settings that you apply, which again I will show you how to do. So for example, the child in question today, I'm just going to call them, hang on a minute, sorry about that, John Smith. Nice, simple, common name. Now, you can choose an avatar. Obviously, the child choose one, or choose one for them. Just go for Spider-Man for today. Now, online ID. This is very important because this is the ID that will be shown above your child's character when they're playing online games. So you do not want to add any personal information. Their full name, any date of birth. For example, you will not want to put John Smith 2810. Those are too much personal information. Down here there are suggestions of any online IDs you want to do. The issue with PlayStation Online is there are so many accounts, it could be hard to find the right ID because some can be taken. So for today, I'm just going to go for a suggested one, so we're going to go for Watchful Study 68. Now this is again the online ID that will be shown above your child's character when they're playing games, so it will not have any indication or any matching to your child. Now this is the online privacy profile. You've got social and open, which basically means you can connect with anyone, which is not really one that you want for your child. Team player, you can limit who knows your real identity, but people still can see it if you become close friends with them on the PlayStation. Friend focused, meaning your information only goes to people that you are friends with. Again, solo and focused is one that is recommended. It keeps a low profile and you choose who you interact with, or you can customize your settings, which is what I would personally suggest, because you can really refine it to the details that you want to use. Okay, so who can see your child's friends? No one. That's important because again, it stops anyone linking your child to anyone else. Who can see your child's online status? Friends only. You can change that to friends of friends or anyone. If you want the most privacy, I'd recommend this. Who can see your child's gaming history? The most privacy again would be no one, but again, you can change it. I would recommend no one. Who can ask to be your child's friend? If you don't want your child to become friends with anyone online, you can click this. This will stop people adding them as a friend. Once again, you can change it. Who can interact with your child through parties, games and messages? Again, the highest privacy would be no one. Notifications for crossplay game event invitation. So this means notifications from people who play different consoles like the Xbox or the Switch inviting you. You can not allow this, again, for privacy issues. And then once you're happy with it, you apply. So this is talking about data collection, personalization. Now this is where it sets the restriction level. Okay, so this is the recommended settings for ages 7 to 12. As I said earlier, it's identified that the child in question is 7-8 years old. You can customize it though, so you can change the age of the account. But because at the age I put in they are 7, it will not go any higher than 7. You can change that. I'm going to stick to child. So again, for the PS5, age of account 7, PS4 and PS3, if you have an account for that, 7 or older, you can change that. Again, you can restrict things. Country or region, you might want to change that to United Kingdom. You can restrict all these, restrict web browsing, which could be also really important. It stops your child from accessing websites online because you can go on the internet on your PlayStation once you're logged into online. Restricting the communication, and this is a big important one, monthly spending limit. You can limit the amount that your child spends online. If you don't want your child to spend anything, which I can understand, you can limit it to 0 or unlimited. There's other choices here. So once you're happy with that, you continue. It says here, make sure that your child is signed into PlayStation Network with their account, so your parental control settings are applied. So all these settings that you are creating will not be applied unless your child is signed into a PlayStation Network account. The network account is basically, it allows your child to play online with other people. If you are not intending for that to happen and you're just having it so that your child just plays solo games by yourself, these restrictions won't come into place, because they won't need to come into place, because your child will not come across anybody else on the internet, as they will just be playing solo. So this is managing your child's playtime. Again, if you want to restrict how long they are on the PlayStation 4, this is where you do it. So you're going to put your time zone, top one here, London. So if you want to restrict the playtime, you simply press X on this. It notifies you when the playtime ends. You can change notify only, or it logs you out. Duration of playable hours, you can do it by days of the week or the same every day, so it's the same amount of hours every day, or you can change the amount of hours on different days. And then for every day, playtime duration, you can change, have it as 1 hour, 45 minutes. You can change it to as long as you want. So this is where you can restrict how long your child is actually on the PlayStation 4, which can be important and really useful if you want to limit their gaming time. So once again, confirm that your child is signed to the PlayStation Network. These are legal documents, term of service use agreement, privacy policy, software usage terms. Once you're happy with them all, you agree, you confirm. Now, this is also quite clever. It restricts the user creation and guest login. So what we did at the beginning, we created a new user. Okay, you can set this up now to stop you from, or stop your children, sorry, from creating new users to kind of bypass your parental controls. So you can add in a restriction passcode. I've already created one, so I'll add that in now. So user creation and guest login are now restricted on this PlayStation, so which means I, as a family member, can't even create new user accounts unless I turn off the restrictions with that passcode. This is where you manage your child's privacy settings. So this is where you'll need to access your email account. So you will be sent a verification email for you to verify your account. You'll need to do this for your child's account to start working. Okay. Now I'm just going to skip past this because I won't need to do that at the moment, but you need to wait for your email. The email could take maybe up to 10 minutes to come through. So now you are signed in to your child's account. Up here in the top corner you will see Watchful Study 68, and this is their account. Okay. Now if you want to control or change any restrictions, you can press the black button on your controller. If you see the picture of the controller on the screen now, there's a little black button which is in the shape of the PlayStation logo. Press that. Oh, it's just telling you what to do, sorry. Go across to the picture of your avatar. Press that and you can switch user back to your main account. So I'm now on my main account. If you want to change any restrictions that you put on or add any more, you can simply go up and across to this little cog, which is the settings. Go down to family and parental controls, family management, and these are the different family accounts that I have on my device. So you want to go on Watchful Study 268 if that's the one you did, and here you can change any controls, any restrictions. So yeah, that is how you do it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful, and we'll see you again soon.